Hello, viewer, and welcome to the Sober James Addiction Recovery live stream, one day at a time here on the Sober James channel. I try to stream live addiction recovery topics every day. Right now it's random, but someday I will be organized. Tonight, God. No, not necessarily God. More like me, you. We're going to talk about step 2 of Alcoholics Anonymous 12-step recovery. We came to believe in a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. Does that mean God? What does it mean? Well, I've been thinking a lot about it recently. Went to a meeting today where a fellow alcoholic, what's up, Raphael? What's up, Noah? How y'all doing? Sigma, Noah, Schwab, and Raphael. HR Patty's in the building. You know what? You guys are rocking it. Lakers Nuggets. Who is a power greater than the other? The Lakers or the Nuggets? Why must we find a power greater than ourselves to recover from wanting to medicate? Noah's on day 6, coming in strong. I'm so happy for you, Noah. We've been following your story here. I think we met a year ago, Noah, you and I. Boy, time flies. You know what I mean? I'm glad to hear it, Noah. And I don't watch basketball, but who in the I hear it's a really neat game. I used to play basketball, but what is up with this power greater than ourselves business? What's up, Mossab? Hey, first time, welcome. For those of you new, my name is James. I'm a grateful, recovering alcoholic and addict. I don't do drugs anymore. And alcohol was my drug of choice. And we talk about recovery here. We get together here on this channel during a live stream like this, and we talk to each other. It is suggested that you talk to another recovering addict every day in recovery. I have learned to take these suggestions like my life depends on it, because it does. So let's talk. Step 2. Well, let's start with step 1 of the 12 steps. Step 1 is we realized we were powerless over alcohol, in this case, or drugs, or sex, or shoplifting, or gambling, or cluttering, or hoarding, or you name it. We realized we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. That's why we have to recover, right? That's step number 1. The 12s, they're just like, forget alcohol, forget drugs, forget your medicine. It doesn't work. It's going to kill you. Step 2 is we have to come to believe in a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. What is up with this? I find this a very interesting step, one that has saved my life when I was ready to take it. Because, we addicts aren't ready to take any suggestions until we're desperate enough. I'm going to go ahead and turn the call-in line on. This means you can call me live and talk. I will hang up on you if you are being obnoxious, but you can hang up on me too. What's up, Shades? How's it going, brother? Shades of Clarity also has experience in recovery. He also has a YouTube channel. Check it out. Would you feel free to call in, Shades? Share with us your story. That goes for any of you. On your experience with, well, that's mighty fine of you, Noah. Thank you for that. A power greater than ourselves. See, here's the deal with the second step. We came to believe in a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. The definition of insanity that they are referring to is trying the same thing but expecting different results. We repeatedly try the same thing in our drinking, in our lives. We try to manage our lives. We try to control our drinking. And we try the same things and expect different results. That is insanity. Step 2. Right after we come to realize we are powerless over alcohol. Step 2 is come to believe in a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. Now, AA is sure to point out that this doesn't have to mean Christian God, Muslim God. It doesn't have to mean any God. And as a matter of fact, I've been paying a lot of attention to the words of the big book and the steps. And I don't know, do you guys remember English class where you had to identify the subject of a sentence? Well, we came to believe in a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. God is nowhere in that subject. The subject of this sentence, according to English class, which I aced, by the way, it was the only, science and English were the only ones I aced. And sex ed. I'm just kidding. I failed. I failed sex ed. I knew not about it. Still don't. The subject of the sentence is me. Power greater than myself. That's the subject. The power is the subject, and the secondary subject is me. Power greater than myself. What's the point of this? This is very important in my opinion, or at least my theory. Recently been paying attention. Analyzing, picking it apart. What's so important about the alcoholic or addict coming to believe in a power greater than themselves? What's so important about that? Well, I think I figured it out. Yeah, go ahead, Shades. I think I figured it out. But we'll wait for Shades to call. Good way. Thanks for encouraging them, Noah. Check it out, man. We need a power greater than ourselves. We need to believe in it because feeling like we control the universe, which is essentially what we do when we shoot out of bed and just try to get to all the tasks of the day. Essentially what we're doing is saying we're the most powerful thing in the world.
Call from
Shades.
Hey, what's up, Shades?
What's up, James? Coming to you live, North Carolina. How you doing?
I'm well. Thanks for calling, man. How are you?
No worries. Pushing on the 23rd. I have like 9 months.
Oh, good. Good for you, bro. It means you're doing something right one day at a time.
Since that last dabble, if you will, it wasn't a pretty one. Well, actually, there were 2 last year. I think one in April that was pretty gnarly, and then in June, that one wasn't all that bad. I haven't been drinking all that much, but I still needed to go away and get my skull together. So,
You're talking
how
about
you been doing?
you're talking about relapse.
Yeah, I mean, my relapse is about because of the kindling like effect in my receptors in my brain. It doesn't take very long for me to like have problems, with the drinking. It may go 4 days, 5 days. I'm already having like really bad withdrawals. So, I mean, the only answer to that and to your audience is, if you suffered this and you wonder why it doesn't get any better, and it never gets over time, it never gets, everybody says it always gets worse. Well, that's why, because your receptors get sensitized. So every time you withdraw, it gets worse. So basically, what happened on that last relapse was in June 23rd. Yeah, it'd be the 23rd. So I'm picking up like 9. And what's today? 21st or something. So three days. Yeah, I've just been working and writing and doing the YouTube thing. I'm a little bit burnt out on the YouTube thing. Like right now, the ideas just aren't flowing like they were. It's hard to. I mean, like as a creator, you wax and wanes, you go through periods. It's just kind of like a roller coaster,
Yeah. Yep. I do
So,
know.
did they remonetize your channel?
Yeah, I appealed it, and they put me in jail for 90 days. They put me in YouTube jail. Took away my money. I was still live streaming for the sake of recovery and all that. But yeah, they took away my monetization, and then I had to appeal it. I had to send them, get it remonetized, and yeah, it's monetized now. I have a membership, by the way, people, if you'd like to sign up and join, support the channel. But yeah, I'm monetized. I make ad revenue and can sell monthly subscriptions to the channel and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it was kind of a bummer, when you set off on your mailman endeavor, like you seemed kind of down and out, and you're like, well, I don't know, they demonetized my channel, and like all this kind of stuff hit, at the same time and everything. I couldn't figure out why they did that, and then I noticed that they put ads back on your channel, so that's good. I'm glad that you got that income stream coming back. But how's everything else been?
Yeah, I'm still at the post office. I'm working. I'm working at the post office. I'm getting the channel back up, mostly because it's good for my recovery, and the deal with helping others. That's the 12th step, carrying the message. I realize this particular go round that I've never really worked the 12th step, other than this channel. So I'm diving into it. I'm trying to help other alcoholics and addicts. They say the only way to keep it is to give it away in the end. And you know how we are. You hear it, it goes one ear, out the other. And until it's proven that that's the case, I'm not really going to listen. But it's been proven, but I want it all.
Yeah,
I want all of it.
I've been laying down on my meetings too, man. I got to get back on it. The meeting that I go to it's kind of a ragtag group. It's not like you'll see people come through the door. They're here today, gone later today. You never see them again. It's a transient town, military town. So you don't know if people are going to come back. And, so there isn't a lot of solidarity and back watching. There's more than one group or more than one group, in the town. But people tend to like to hang with their home groups. And that is my home group. And I'm not sure it will be that much longer. And if for your viewers don't understand what a home group is and the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, it's basically your base. Your group.
Right.
that you frequent, and you may be, excuse me, you may be in charge of making coffee, or you may be in charge of, doing whatever, being a treasurer. It's just something that you put more effort into.
The home group.
For your own.
You show up. My home group is
Yep.
Mondays and Thursdays at 6:30. I make sure to show up as often as I possibly can. And when I don't, I get every once in a while I'll get phone calls. Where you been? Your home group. I've been going there for 13 years. They were strangers when I walked in. Now I'm going to help a member out tomorrow with one of her electrical outlets. Just an older lady that I didn't, known for 13 years. This is my family home group of AA. There's different groups of AA in your area. You pick one that you feel comfortable and you make it your home group, and then you're accountable. And what Shades is talking about is service work. You volunteer to make coffee, or be the treasurer, or you give back to the group. We are self-governed. We don't have assigned roles or leaders. It's all volunteer work and service work. And Shades, you're talking about, you don't think that that's going to be your home group anymore?
Well, I mean, it's kind of up in the air. We have several groups here. It's just, like I said, there's not a lot of old timers, so to speak, within the group, people that have been there like that long. There is someone who has been sort of my sponsor. He's a retired airline captain, like for FedEx, and he's been sort of the one that I call like when I have problems. It's just the newcomer after newcomer after newcomer, and you never see him again. It's one of those revolving door kind of meetings. They may hit up the AA app on their phone and see. And the funny thing is that they had the wrong address for the longest time, and they didn't change it. So all these people were ending up at a Ford dealership, like in town, and they're knocking on the door thinking that the AA group was at the Ford dealership. So they had to change the. They had to. Yeah, it was kind of funny, but and not really. But they had to. They had to get the address right, and once they got it right and they corrected it in the app, then we started to see a lot of people come in. But yeah, I do need to make more meetings for sure. I'm sober. I'm just sort of, I wouldn't say white knuckling it. I'm just big booking it and maybe calling, some members. But
You're
the
drifting
meeting
away.
itself. What's that?
It sounds like you're drifting away. It sounds like you're noticing that you're drifting away. Well, I only say that because that's usually the beginning, is that you start to talk about how you're not really into your home group anymore and stuff.
Oh, I know. I know. That's when you gotta crank down. And not only that, my YouTube channel, it's like I feel like I'm not there the way I was. It's like coming up with ideas is a little bit harder. Do I want to get in front of the camera all that much? Maybe not as much as I did. There's viewer fall off. That wasn't the whole purpose of the channel to begin with anyway. It was to help other people, and I must realize that was the initial purpose of the channel anyway. It wasn't to get views. I never intended for it to be monetized, and I don't want it to be monetized. But still, putting the stuff together and editing it while life is going on, sometimes can be a challenge. But I do definitely need to, as you say, and I've heard you say frequently on your channel, the people that meeting makers make it. And the ones that start to stray, I mean, that's what happens. Before they know it, they're going to one meeting and then, or maybe two meetings a week, and then they're going to one. The next, they're not going to any, and the next, they're facing a relapse and they're in trouble again. So,
yeah,
I certainly don't want that to happen. Sorry.
Well, it also means essentially that you're not believing any longer that a power greater than you can restore you to sanity. The reason you'll find me at meetings is because I believe that the meetings are a power greater than me that can restore me to sanity.
Mm.
That's where I find
Now, I
God.
will offer this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I will offer this. That the third step leading into the fourth has always been like my major problem, because I just don't know if there's a higher power. And they'll say, well, you can borrow my higher power, or you can make the group your higher power. You can make a doorknob your higher power.
The
It's
doorknob
just
I've
that's
never
been
understood. I've never understood that, the doorknob analogy.
it,
It doesn't make any sense to
it's a
me.
joke. I think
Yeah,
it's a
but I
joke
think
because
it
it
got out of
doesn't.
hand. To be honest, the group has always been my higher power. It is a
Right,
higher power. I have noticed
right,
that there's many higher powers than me. To say that there's only
right,
one higher power than me, then that is ridiculous. That's as ridiculous as saying that there is no higher power than myself. I mean,
right.
it's ridiculous to say that I am the alpha omega and my decisions must ride, especially after
Sure.
the especially after the consequences of my decisions. I mean, I don't have a good track record, so there are powers
Hmm.
greater than me for sure. The group is definitely one. It's been getting alcoholics sober for damn near 100 years, and it's definitely higher than me, and it can restore me. So I definitely say AA is a power greater than me. If you guys say pray, I pray, because you're obviously a power greater than I am. And I was resistant to that for a long time. And then I took piecemeal.
Interestingly, in, interestingly, there was a member that was not a member of that home group, but there was a member of another home group that said that she didn't believe that the group could be a higher power, because she believed to the core that the higher power needed to be something that you couldn't manipulate. And she thought that a person could potentially manipulate the group as a whole, and that didn't qualify as a higher power. That was just her argument.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some validity there, but when you're throwing a life preserver and you're drowning in the damn sea, and somebody says, well, here we are on a ship, this is the group, are you going to reach for it or not? I mean, that was my argument back to
I mean, you and I talking is a higher power than just me. You know,
her. Sure.
two alcoholics is a higher power than just one. That's the way I see it. A higher
Yep.
power, a power greater than myself. It doesn't say the higher power. It says a higher power. I need a higher
I know.
power because I have no power over alcohol. This is obviously after, we just years upon years personal experience of just failing at stopping drinking. We try
I
everything in
guess,
our
I guess,
power and it doesn't work. So we come to believe in a power greater than ourselves. And if we don't come to believe, and that is the subject, coming to
mhm,
believe that a power greater than
right.
ourselves can restore us to sanity. Because until that point, we're self-driven. We think
Yep.
we're trying to solve and control everything, and that's our problem. The just self bondage.
It runs riot.
Yeah, self
But
run riot.
me knowing all this stuff, I mean, and then me questioning it and knowing that the third and then leading into the fourth has been like my major stumbling block, like from the get go, has always been a problem, even though I know that there needs to be a higher power, and the group for me has been that. I still find myself, questioning, well, existentially, I guess, like looking at the whole thing. There's free will, and there's also, I don't know how to put it.
Yeah.
Because there's certain people that don't believe it's a disease and they say, well, it's just weakness. And then understanding the disease model and knowing that, and then knowing that, okay, well, the only way that you're going to be able to correct this is to seek something other than yourself because your way has never worked.
Right.
And knowing that and not being able to rely on that 100% has been one of my problems. And unfortunately, it's still there. It's still lurking in the back, even though I do go to meetings, although I need to ramp up my meetings, going to the meetings. I don't want to relapse again. But that's kind of where I am. Let me get off the phone because I think I've taken up a little more time. I'd like to hear some more caller feedback, if you don't mind.
Yeah, man. Thanks for your input, and it's good talking to you. And well, you said it yourself. You said I'm kind of drifting away. Just pay attention to what comes out of your mouth.
Sure.
You're
But
saying
good luck to everybody out there. I hope everybody, keep watching Sober James's channel. It's a good channel. I came around, I don't know, a year and a half ago, maybe a year, and watched. And then, yeah, it's a good, solid channel. If you want to check out my channel, you can check it out. I might be adjusting some things on it. We'll see. But yeah, it's been good talk to you, James.
Yeah,
good
man,
luck with everything. I'm glad your channel's back online and everything.
Yeah, thanks for calling, man. I'll talk to you soon.
No worries.
All right,
Good,
brother.
buddy.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Shades of Clarity, another recovery channel if you're interested. Shades of Clarity on YouTube. What's up, Daniel Kopic? How you doing, brother? Bonnie, Raphael, Dathy, Trust is Vital, Grabowski, Dathy Goylan. Some people don't understand and they don't want to understand, right? The disease. I don't even understand, and I got it. But you're right about that. Good to see you, Kopic. Big respects. Hope everything sorts itself out for you. Well, it's God's will be done, brother. We're talking about a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity and the necessity to come to believe in that power. What is with the second step? Coming to believe in a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. I think it has to do with the main problem of the addict is that we are constantly thinking we have power over the world and our environment. The 12 steps remind us, A, step 1, you're powerless, brother. Step 2, come to believe that a power greater than yourself can restore you to sanity, brother. And number 3, hand your will and your life over to the care of God as you understand him, brother. But step 2, come to believe in a power greater than yourself that can restore you to sanity. Why is this? Because you may not drink today dealing with all this power you think you have. You may not drink tomorrow dealing with all this power that you think you have, being the almighty, all-mega, all-powerful. But you may drink the next day because it'll get to you thinking you have all that power. You got to come to believe in a power greater than yourself. You are not in charge of stopping this alcoholic thinking. You are not in charge of stopping this alcoholism. It says right in the big book, no human power can relieve us of our alcoholism. Oh, Kopic, I'm okay. I'm glad you know. I'm glad you know exactly what's real because God ain't here, it's within us, mate. Maybe. Yeah, God is within us. Hey, check it out, man. I'm not here to tell you what God is. I'm not even here to tell you what God isn't. Well, I will tell you what God isn't. Me. I am not God. The power greater than myself. And it's what's worked. You know what I mean? I gotta get over myself. I'm not in charge. You know how relaxing that is? It's relaxing enough to not take a drink, you know what I mean? I'm not in charge. That person that is upsetting me, I have no power over that person. HR Patty, very new here and hate to say something embarrassing, but I believe in God. I can do all things in He who strengthens me. Word. It also says in the big book, see, a lot of agnostics and atheists come into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous because they don't want to die from alcoholism. And I say we because I'm a natural agnostic. I have more questions. I thought I was smart enough to tell you exactly what God is and what God isn't. Until I was damn near dead because I thought, things like that. But coming to believe in a power, it's step 2 of the 12-step program. It's got to mean something big, and it does. Number 1 is we're powerless over alcohol. Number 2, we got to come to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. And number 3, we turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand Him. It is said that the first 3 steps go like this. I can't, He can, let Him. 1, 2, 3. I can't, He can, let Him. So in a meeting today, a friend of mine was talking about he has a government job. I got a government job. A lot of government jobs are being manipulated, fired, let go, laid off. He expressed in the beginning of the meeting, 4 is the beginning of the personal house cleaning, taking a personal inventory and fearless. But he expressed how he fears losing his job. It is said in the book, self-centered fears is essentially our problem. Future tripping. Faith in God. I related to him because I thought to myself, this man is feeling his fear, his problem. I feel fear and problems. I feel like going to my sponsor and being like, yo, how am I supposed to give my will and my life over to the care of God? I got bills to pay. You know what I mean? God ain't going to pay my bills. I've actually said that in a meeting. God ain't going to pay my bills. But that's not the point. Work without faith is dead, is what they say. The point is you come to believe in a power greater than yourself. And you put all your trust into that power. And there's promises. If we are thorough about this phase of our lives, there's promises that await us. The fear of financial insecurity will leave us. That is one of the promises. If we diligently work the steps and the program, that's one of the promises. Fear of economic insecurity will leave us. So yes, this agnostic you're looking at believes in God, yes. It's a God of my understanding. But I would like to stay on the point that the second step doesn't mention God. The second step says, come to believe in a power greater than ourselves. It's all about a power greater than me. It doesn't matter what that is. In the beginning, or still to this day, the program of Alcoholics Anonymous is a power greater than me. Why do I know that? Because it has gotten alcoholics like me sober for 100 years, and it has gotten me sober just by following directions. When I continue to stay close to its suggestions, I live happily, joyously, and freely. When I stray away and take my will back and insist that I can fix everything, and I start driving again, I get restless, irritable, and discontent. So I started understanding biblical literature. When I practiced the principles of faith and courage and trust, I can be welcomed into eternal heaven on earth. I understood that faith leads to eternal heaven. It doesn't mean when I die I go to pearly gates. It means as soon as I have faith and let go of my will, I am in heaven on earth. I have experienced it. It's happiness, joyousness, and freedom. When I take my will back and I feel like I'm controlling everything, that's hell on earth. That's alcoholism. And I will surely drink to relieve myself. That's why the first 3 steps have to do with letting go of the insistence that I have the power to control people, places, and things, and alcoholism. Step 1 is you're powerless over alcohol. Step 2 is coming to believe in a power greater than you that can restore you to sanity. And step 3 is to let that power. Let go and let God, Mike Tucker says. That's absolutely right. We all know it. We've all heard it. We've all read the t-shirts and bumper stickers. What is so silly about human beings to where we can't even follow directions? Well, we're human. Every single one of us wants to take the wheel and run with the show. We have willpower, which ironically is just powerful enough to ruin us all. My willpower is what made me drink. If my willpower says I'm going to the liquor store, you better be a pack of 100 horses if you want to stop me. Like for real. And I'll probably get through that. My willpower got me drunk. So willpower, schmillpower. To come to believe in a power greater than ourselves is to let go of will. Let go and let God. And that's it is the hardest thing, isn't it, Bonnie? I think and I don't think we should be frustrated with the fact that it's so hard. I think that's part of the human condition. Spiritual giants have figured out that if they let go and let God, the promises come true. The job ain't going smooth. I'm switching to the city side because my side doesn't. You got the rural carriers and you got the city carriers, and the rural side isn't protected by the union. I'm barely even getting accurate pay. I'm not getting accurate pay. I know, right? If I was able to practice the 12 steps every minute of every day, I'm sure, and I have proven this to myself, I'm sure I would be happy, joyous, and free. When I remember to practice the principles such as letting go and letting God, being honest, showing love and tolerance to my brothers and sisters, all of the 12 steps, serving, helping others, when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. When I'm practicing the 12 steps, bro, I'm happy, joyous, and free. It's a pink cloud. The promises come true. And you guys have read the promises before, but you know I love them. So I'm going to read them right now. Hey Siri, what are the 9th step promises of AA? The 9th step promises in Alcoholics Anonymous. Here it says the 12 promises as quoted from the big book. 1, we are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. This is if you work the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, the 12 steps. These are the promises that happen when I work the 12 steps in all of my affairs. It's hard to do 24/7. It's progress, not perfection. It's called practice for a reason. But here are the promises, and I will tell you that at one point specifically in my life, I looked at every one of these promises and I was like, wow, every single one of these has come true. So the promises are, number 1, we will know a new freedom and a new happiness. Number 2, we will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity. We will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook on life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. And then it goes on to say, are these extravagant promises? We think not. They will continue to materialize if we work for them. It's funny to me how being a happy, joyous, and free person requires practice and intent. It's almost like human nature. It's almost like we're not naturally, supposed to be so happy, joyous, and free. We're naturally in a state of restlessness, irritability, and discontentment. It takes a spiritual path to grow as a spiritual being. Otherwise, we're just like this. We're just an animal. We're like this animal that will hurt people. That will. We have our 7 deadly sins of being a human. We have to grow and progress. Bonnie says it's really hard to keep serenity in the world that seems to go 90 miles per hour most of the time. Right. I've experienced it though. I will tell you that the promises are real. They are real. I was blown away. And I call it the pink cloud. You just look around and you're just like, I've been pretty happy lately. I think I'm happy. Man, this is weird. I think I'm happy. You know what I mean? In this dark 90-mile-an-hour world, you look around and you're like, I've been pretty happy lately. That's a big thing for an alcoholic. When you're just like, things are pretty good lately. Like, you know what I mean? That's when I realized I counted those promises. I was like, every single one of those has come true these days. When I practice the principles and the 12 steps, the promises are true for me. It's not like economic security has been delivered. It is the perspective. I'm not afraid of economic insecurity. I have faith in a power greater than me that I call God, everything will be all right. God's will be done. If I'm poor right now, that's God's will. God's will be done. And that wasn't always the way for me. That's right, Mike Tucker, the serenity prayer. Grant me the wisdom to know the difference between the things I can change and the things I can't. Kopic says, our brain is our body. Sadly, everything gets in you in the end. Mind's eye, wisdom to accept the things I cannot change. The serenity prayer. It is said that the serenity prayer is the embodiment of the Alcoholics Anonymous program. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It doesn't say alcohol in there once, but yet that is the embodiment of alcoholism recovery. It doesn't say, God, please don't let me drink. It barely mentions the word alcohol in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. Alcohol is a very small part of alcoholism, believe it or not. Drinking alcohol and using other drugs, is a symptom of our disease. The disease has a lot to do with control. It has a lot to do with our delusion that we are managing the world and its outcomes. And I had to be taught this. I have to continue to practice this way of life because for some reason I always get it in my head that I'm in charge. I'm in charge of my happiness. And that's probably America taught us that. You know what I mean? They want you to buy a Corvette because you're in charge of your happiness. That's what that is. Willpower, swim power, swill power, stubbornness, won't power, flimsy at times, hence surrender. Willpower is the biggest hoax of all time. It's the biggest BS. We have willpower. You can do anything you put your mind to. No, I can't. No. And if I spend 80 years till my dying day believing that, I will have wasted my life. As an alcoholic, if I think I have the power, if I've been listening to too much CNC Music Factory, and I swear that I have the power, I am sure to drink. I learned a long time ago as a recovering alcoholic to stop saying, I got this. I got it. I got my sobriety. I will never drink. My face has been planted in the gutter, in the dirt so many times just from saying, I got this. Saying God's got it. Saying I am lucky to be here. Grateful 1 minute at a time of every day. 1 day at a time. I got the power. I love that song by CNC Music Factory. Miss Hashtag Hollyford Retonia. Willpower is the same as self-discipline to me. Sure. Yeah, discipline. But we do have power, but we have limited power. We are a finite being. Humans are. That's why I was taught growing up that you can do anything you put your mind to. That's what I was taught. That's what I was taught too. That's America. It's America trying to teach us that, so we join their corporations. I always think I'm not to be trusted because of my weaknesses, so that's when I lean on God. There is a great book, To Slake a Thirst. It's been my go-to book. Thanks for that. Maverick Capitalist, what up? Relapsed in Mexico. Learn from it. Relapses without dying are lessons. Relapses are disease has relapse. Alcoholism is a disease. We don't always have to relapse. When we do, we learn from it or we die. What I've learned, and it's been slow going, and it says right in the book, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but we do recover as long as we are honest. Yes, we can shift certain things. We do have certain power, but we don't have all the power. In fact, some of us have more power than others. That's just the way it is. Some of us have more willpower. Some of us have more power to focus than others. Some of us have stronger drives and stuff like that. We're human. We're all different. But no human power can resolve the alcoholism problem. It says right in the book, if you can, our hats are off to you. But there has been insurmountable evidence to suggest otherwise. So we put our faith in a infinite power. God. There's that word. God. This is where all the smart, brilliant, genius alcoholics that are ruining their lives with drinking say, what? I'm too smart for this shit. I'm out of here. The next time they wound up in a gutter, they came back, if they're anything like me, and they said, all right, tell me about this God thing. Because I got my face planted in a gutter again. Feels like the power is here within us all, and it depends on how many people are on your side and know you and understand you. Yeah, I mean, in so many words, sure, it feels like we're powerful, but that is, in essence, a weakness. Realizing that you're powerless is a strength. Surrender is a strength. It's a power move. Surrender is a power move. Surrender is the first step of Alcoholics Anonymous. Realized we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives would become unmanageable. How do you do the house cleaning steps? Trust in God, clean house, help others. That's essentially the 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous. Trust in God, clean house, help others. The house cleaning steps you're referring to are steps 4 through 9, I believe. Step 4. Took a fearless and moral inventory of ourselves. That means, stop lying to yourself. You aren't that great of a person, come to think of it. You use people like drugs. You selfishly go throughout your days self-seeking and controlling. We all have our character defects that we discover, but that's step 4. Step 5 is tell those, or make a list, or tell those to God, to yourself, and to another human being. And step 6 is become willing to let go of them or something, and then ask God to remove them is step 7. And then you make a list of people you have harmed, and then you're willing to make amends to them, and then you make amends to them. That's your house cleaning. You come up with your moral inventory. What's wrong? I am the problem. And what is it? Your character defects, the classic ones, there's 7 of them. Anger, envy, lust, greed, gluttony, character defects. These are your character defects. These are hindering you from being closer to the Spirit. Yeah, you check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. That's the 12 steps right there. Das Effects. Somebody sang about it in a rap song. Yeah, they essentially said, check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. That's the 12-step program right there. One step. So, check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. The end. In summary, the Alcoholics Anonymous program is trust in God, clean house, help others. Sloth, exactly, one of my greatest ones. Sloth is the waste of your time, one of the most valuable things that we have, if not the most valuable things that we have in life is our time, and sloth is a waste of that. And there is a lot of paradoxical thinking in recovery. I surrender to gain power. That's paradoxical. In order to keep these gifts and promises, I must give them away. These are counterintuitive, paradoxical, but they work. That's the hard part about what my man at the meeting was saying today. These problems are serious in his view. Our problems are serious. Each of our problems and pain is real to us, and we don't want to let it go. We don't want to stop trying to control it and fix it. To let go and let God is like we have resistance to that. It's like, okay, well, what's going to fix it if I let it go? But there are promises, and they are real. And the paradoxical thinking and the counterintuitive actions work. But it's just so hard when you got that problem nagging at you and you just can't stop thinking about it. And it's round and round in our heads. I always thought I could handle alcohol, but found any different, a very humbling and dangerous experience. True that. Ryan says, in your opinion, is a killer powerless to reform, not to kill again? Or is an alcoholic powerless because you're under the influence of some lower power? I think serial killers have a similar disease as addicts. Same with pedophiles and stuff. It's a sickness. I really don't think somebody would go out and murder people just for fun, and it's a sickness. Same with drinking. The things we do when we drink, sick. We continue to pour poison down our throats, regardless of it's killing us. That's a sickness. It's insanity. It is the definition of insanity. Under the influence of some lower power. There is the belief system that think that, they call alcohol spirits for a reason. The demon alcohol, some people call it. Uncle Jody, I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. What's up, Bretonia? He said too, I see a lot of new faces. Welcome. Feel free to hit that like button. Share this with a friend. Consider joining the channel to help carry the message and get some perks along the way. Tier 3 members get access to about 100 more videos than regular viewers. And plus it helps me out a lot. And so there's an example. When you say God's will be done, and do you guys ever do this? You say, you know what? I've done all I can do. God's will be done. And you throw up your hands and you say, well, I've done all I can do. The feeling of rest that comes after that statement, if you believe it and let go, the feeling of rest is powerful. The feeling of comfort, you know what I mean? What's up, Trippy Seeds? Kolpik? I was wondering where you at, Kolpik? Raphael in the building. I don't know who Joey Diaz or Lee Syed. I to be honest, I don't really. I did watch a little bit of the SNL 50. You guys know I'm an SNL fan. A power greater than ourselves. Pride is another one. Now, there's another one. We were raised to take pride in our pride. Take pride in how strong we are and how driven we are. What we've accomplished. In AA, bro, we are taught, I didn't accomplish this. We did. A power greater than I has given this to me. Anybody that has lasting sobriety will tell you, this wasn't me. This was a power greater than myself. This was the group of AA. This was the program. When I got out of the way, I succeeded. When I got out of my own way, I succeeded. When I listened to Alcoholics Anonymous suggestions, I succeed. Drinking too much is bad for your health. Shotgun shells is bad for your health. Check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. Because shotgun shells is bad for your health. Come to believe in a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. Now, this isn't something that Eckhart Tolle's my dude. I love that guy. No pride. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Humans are silly. We're silly. We know all these things, but we don't do them. And the humans that manage to do them, and usually you become old and wise by the time you've gotten down to practicing this stuff, you know, these are the, you know what I mean? God's will be done. There is a power greater than myself that can restore me to sanity. I can let go. I can stop worrying. If you pray, why worry? If you worry, why pray? These are things I have to get my head around. My head suggests that I'm in charge. If I want to succeed in life, if I want all these, that's the other thing. I don't know what I want. Do you guys ever notice that? Bonnie, Kopic, you ever notice that like the thing you thought you wanted 10 years ago would have been just the death of you, and the thing that you absolutely didn't want was the Savior? I just can't help but noticing that when I think my world is ending, that turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. And when I think I want something so bad and never get it, that would have been the worst thing that it could have happened to me. And it's not because I'm stupid. It's just because I don't think we know. I think humans are, I don't even know. I don't even know half this shit. I don't have the answers. Ryan wants an answer to his question. Are there some sins, for example, gluttony, where maybe once you overate and no longer do, and you're not powerless anymore, but alcohol is only sin you're powerless to? I believe I'm powerless over people, places, and things. That's an excellent question, Ryan. I definitely believe that if I put alcohol in my body, I'm powerless. That has been proven to me. Why? Because if I wasn't powerless, I wouldn't go to jail. If I wasn't powerless, I wouldn't be in the hospital. You know what I mean? If I had power over alcohol, I would have everything that I ever wanted. Pride only hurts, it never helps. Marcellus Wallace said that in Pulp Fiction. Words of wisdom. It's a great movie. Life, love, and happiness. Word. But you think that certain things will bring you that stuff, and as it turns out, letting go of those things will bring you. You know, as an example, we don't even have the power to know what is going to bring us happiness. The addictive mind is dealt with by letting go of control, believing in a power greater than yourself. The addictive mind says, I'm uncomfortable. I think the best idea is to drink this, to slam this, to F that, or to snort that. But those aren't the right ideas. Three different stints in the hospital, and I still didn't get it, that the alcohol caused it. Are you powerless over any other sins, not alcohol, is what I've been asking. Yes. Yes. Okay, well, let me... Anger. I get angry and I just unleash and I'll get arrested. Powerless over anger. You must come to believe in a power greater than you that can provide you with a spiritual state. That's what I think spiritual means. It's a higher state than your base state. But that's an excellent question. Powerless. Yeah. There are things I'm powerless over. My life has become unmanageable. You can replace the word alcohol with anything, any word that you find yourself powerless over. If you're in a traffic jam, you're powerless over that traffic jam. If you're in a state of anger, And that's an awesome question, bro, because alcohol isn't the problem of alcoholism, it's just a symptom. The problem of alcoholism revolves around self, control, and ego. I'm powerless over my ego. I need a power greater than me to restore me to sanity from my ego, myself, my desires, my urges. So yeah, I'm definitely powerless. I'm definitely powerless. If I wasn't powerless over many things, I would be, what would I be? If I wasn't powerless over many things, I would be God. I wouldn't be human. If I wasn't powerless over my anger, some of my lust, my sloth, and my urges to drink and use, if I wasn't powerless over those, I'd be God. I wouldn't be human. And that's where you go from feeling isolated and alone and unique in your problems to a part of the human race, which is important to feel a part of, because we isolate as addicts and alcoholics. We'll isolate our way right into the bottle. And surrender. That's where they say surrender is. Herein lies the power. When you say, you know what, I can't handle liquor. When you say that, when you say I'm an alcoholic, I'm powerless over alcohol, that is a powerful statement. That is where the power begins, which is where it's counterintuitive and paradoxical. I'm powerless over alcohol, and all this power floods in now. And a power greater than me showed me that knowledge. If I would have known that, then I would have been that powerful. But what I've found out is we do have willpower. We are powerful as a species, but we're not all powerful. We can't do anything and everything. That's very obvious. One of those things that I cannot do is drink alcohol. Another thing is even justified anger, because that will drive me to alcohol. And if you weren't powerless over alcohol, then why does it take lives? We are powerless to real love, sadly. It's where all the biggest mistakes are made. Real love? Real love. I'm talking about the real love. I'm powerless as a singer. Prayer is the answer. Prayer, meditation, AA, and the program is the answer for the alcoholic. Alcohol just happens to be the word of the topic of alcoholism. But you can use the 12 steps on anything that you're powerless over. Fear, anger, gluttony, greed, sloth, all of that. Other drugs besides alcohol, sex. You know what I mean? We are not all powerful. We are led to believe it by society, and mankind thinks we're just the most important thing on earth. We just think, you know what? This earth was put here for us. I don't care if it's 6 billion years old and we're only 10,000 years old. This earth was put here for us. You know, it's humans were faulty. We're faulty. I mean, animals seems to understand that they're powerless over things. Man doesn't. Let's see who this is. Calling the Sober James live show.
Call from. To accept, press 1.
Hello, who is it? Someone just tried to call just to see, I think. That's okay. Mind's Eye says, I purposely OD'd on drugs because my soulmate dumped me at 23. I was hospitalized for I don't know how long and then psych ward. You thought you knew best. We don't always know best. It's not because we're dumb. It's just because we don't happen to know. Alcohol's a big lie, Bonnie says. You think you're just fine with it until it wrecks your life. Sobriety gives you and delivers everything that alcohol promises. Sobriety delivers everything alcohol promises. Alcohol delivers it instantly, and then it dissipates, it dissolves, it disappears. True. Alcohol feels good. We wouldn't have drank it. We wouldn't drink it. But we play the tape through. It doesn't work. It doesn't work as a solution to our restlessness, irritability, and discontentment. Nick Jones says, my girlfriend is still in denial. What is the correct approach? Unfortunately, denial's an ugly thing. There's in the book, it says what the best approach to an alcoholic is. Unfortunately, it is a very narrow path. I don't know the answer to that. Nick Jones, the best approach, AA suggests attraction, not promotion. You may say, James, well, you promote AA on here all the time. False. No, I try to demonstrate what AA is doing in my life. You could do the same in front of her, but you can't. Bill W., Dr. Bob, they found out the hard way, the way the rest of us do. You can't force recovery down anybody's throat. It has to be discovered through them on their own. They have to realize that they are powerless over alcohol and their lives have become unmanageable. They have to come to believe in a power greater than themselves that can restore them to sanity. It's an intimate, addiction is an intimate, personal thing, and so is recovery. We can't change people, places, and things. That's why I say I feel so grateful. I feel so grateful. I've gone through periods of denial in my life, years, decades. And I've gone through periods of recovery, and I am so grateful that I'm just a grateful recovering addict and alcoholic, because we don't know the answers. I will tell you this, Nick. Read the big book, Into Action, or there's a chapter in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, Into Action, or How It Works, or there's a Vision for You is a chapter. Working with Others. That's the chapter you need to read. Chapter 7, Nick. If you don't have a big book, there's an app called Everything AA where you can read the big book and other books. But chapter 7 is called Working with Others. Practical experience shows that nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intense work with other alcoholics. Perhaps you're not acquainted with any drinkers who want to recover. That sounds like your girlfriend, Nick. And then it goes on to advise how to approach when it comes to the family. Sometimes it is wise to wait until he goes on another binge. I've had old timers tell me, go out and drink. That's how, it takes so many drunks to get sober. That's the unfortunate part. Rock bottom. But chapter 7 from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous is called Working with Others. Nick, I suggest you go there first to read about. It's not that long. That chapter's not that long. Then you got Two Wives, chapter 8. But that is the unfortunate fact about addiction and alcoholism, is that we just don't listen. What we will listen to is pain. What we'll listen to is pending death, rock bottoms. So, unfortunately, your girlfriend isn't a bad person. She's a sick person. We are not bad people. We're sick people. And we don't get it until we hurt long enough. But chapter 7, Nick, of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, you can probably just Google chapter 7 and read it without buying it. Greatest book on earth, in my opinion. But I understand your frustration, and so does the writer of the big book, and so does every alcoholic and every codependent and every wife or husband or family of an alcoholic. My family watched me just drink for decades, and that's why alcoholism it's a disease that affects not just the addict, but the addict is like the epicenter of the disease that radiates outward. It's ironic and just cruel that addicts and alcoholics have to experience great pain before they turn around. It's the nature of the disease. Chapter 7 is my best answer to that question, Nick. And step 2 is the best answer to constant worry. You got to come to believe that a power greater than yourself can solve your problems. And that is just so difficult. I don't know if it's just us alcoholics, but it is very difficult to just be like, you know what? I tried. God's will be done. Now I can move on with my life. I don't have to dwell on this. And it's something that you experience only when you are open-minded enough to try another way of life other than your own ideas. That's the main point of step 2. You cannot think your way out of this. You can't think your way to a solution. Alcohol withdrawals and detox and delirium tremens. I do have videos on all that. Perhaps we'll talk about that on tomorrow's stream, or a stream to come soon. I'll be working tomorrow, and I just wanna say before we go that when I am able to let go and say God's will be done. And I'll remind you, Sober James is an agnostic at heart. I essentially am a person that thinks he's smart enough to come up with these, where's the proof and shit like that. I think I'm the only person that's ever said that in the history of theology and God talking. Well, anyway, when I am able to let go of my will and my brilliance and my ideas and my control and realize that I'm not all powerful and I'm not the smartest being on earth and all the answers of the universe come into my mind, when I realize that God's will be done, I'm not driving this, I'm not in charge here, I'm not the director of this play called life, I am able to relax. And what is it that we addicts and alcoholics and what is it that we are constantly searching for? Relaxation, comfort, relief from these nagging problems that I think I'm in control of and that I think I have to step up. There is time. There is time to relax and say, you know what? I am not, there's more will be revealed. More will be revealed, and it is true.
Call from
Fred Fluke.
Hello, Fred.
James Burkowski. I don't know if you remember me. I am Paul, that Italian dude from Philly. I haven't talked to you in a while. I just went on your channel. I just wanted to call to say hello.
Who is this?
How are you?
Is this Paulie?
Yes, it is. It's Walnuts.
Paulie, what
It
up,
is.
dude?
How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. How are
Yeah,
you?
I just went on YouTube and I went on your channel and it said to call in. So I just wanted to call to say hello to you.
What up, Paulie? What you been up to, man?
Oh, you know. This and that and this.
Yeah?
I saw that you're working for the post office, man. I want to say that's a really good thing. That's a really good thing. I'm very happy for you, man. It'll give you a really excellent future.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yeah. I discovered I might be in the wrong section of the post office and that the union doesn't, and so I'm switching, but that's what I hear. That's what I hear is that but yeah, I agree. It's a good thing to do. I've been there 6 months. It's hard work.
Yeah, well, I was a meter reader for 20 and get out and walk around somewhat same as a mailman, but somewhat different in ways. But, you know, I used to walk so many miles. I put 20 years in, not long. It was a long time, but not long enough. But whatever. No, I just want to say I think it's a really, really, really good thing for you to do. It'll keep you exercise. It'll keep you active. It'll give you a really excellent future. You got 401k options. You got stock options. You got a pension. You got a retirement plan. Your union. You're federal, which means you're a government employee. You're government property. It'll give you incentives and perks, and you can always move up the ladder and transfer. You know, because you're in the union and within the federal government position of an employee.
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really good thing, man. I think you should keep it going. And I saw that you want to be a peer specialist, man. You can do that shit part-time, man. Always stick with the post office, man. You'll always get overtime. You'll always be there. You have many opportunities to achieve so much in the position that you're in. And I also want to say congratulations on having over 1 year of sobriety. That's really good. I'm happy for you.
Well, thank you, Paulie.
It's good. I'm happy for you.
Thank
you. You know. Well, look, man, I'll let you go. I just wanted to say hello and seeing that you're going on the right track. And, you know, I'm very happy for you. And I wish you the best. And if I come across one of your channels this week, maybe I'll call back in if you will be gracious enough for me to do so.
Yeah, brother. It's good to hear from you, for real.
It's good. Yeah, good to hear from you, man. It's good talking to you, and I mean that. I am very happy for you, man. I think you're putting your feet in the right direction, man.
Well, thank you. How are you doing, real quick, before you go? Are you doing all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing good, man. I mean, if you're talking drugs or alcohol, I haven't had a drink since 2018 or 19. I haven't touched a drug in a number of years. So.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's good. And yeah, well, I don't even really think about it anymore. You know, just getting older and everything, and that's about it. So.
Well, right on, man.
That's about it, you know. So. All right. Well, look, man, I'll let you go. I just wanted to say hello, and I'll talk to you when I talk to you. I'm glad to see you're going in the right direction.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in, Paulie. It's good talking to you, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, James. Be cool, buddy. Take care.
Yeah, you too,
All
bro.
right.
Later.
Later, man.
A walk down memory lane there, Paulie, longtime viewer, just a dude, man. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? Yeah, the post office. He is right. The retirement, the health care, stuff like that. He is right about. You do have to navigate some bullshit. You do, and that's every job, I guess, or any job. I don't know. But thanks for calling in, Paulie. It's good to hear from you. Power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. Think about it. You know what I mean? Think about it. Come to believe in a power greater than ourselves. I'll tell you before I go, my sponsor, I came in this time after relapsing. After 7 years sober, I relapsed, and I came back to AA, and I said, hey, I need the God thing. Tell me what it is. My sponsor, who used to be an atheist, now he's got 15 years of sobriety, and he's not the most devout Christian or spiritual giant or anything, but he asked me 3 things. He said, number 1, do you think you're God? And I said, no, that's ridiculous. And he said, well, why do you treat your opinions and your thoughts and ideas as they are the alpha, omega, and the end? And you go with your decisions. That means I was treating my ideas as God. And I said, well, I'll be damned. He said also, number 2, have you ever prayed for the willingness to believe in God? And I said, no, I've never done that. But I'll give it a try. And then number 3, he said, what does your idea of a God look like? And I told him, I said, I think it's totally incomprehensible. A power, I can't even comprehend it. Like an ant trying to read an algebra book, I can't even begin to tell you what God is. And he said, all right, well, there you go. And that was 15 months ago. And that was the beginning of this phase of my recovery from alcoholism, is coming to believe in a power greater than myself that can restore me to sanity, and handing my will over to the power of God as I understand him, and leaving it there. When I take it back, I become miserable. You know what I'm saying, Daniel Kopic? That's my story. I'm sticking to it for tonight. I'm streaming every day. We meet here and talk to each other because it is suggested in that what I just read, working with others, and I'll read it again because it makes so much sense into why that we gather here on the Sober James channel once a day. Practical experience shows that nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intensive work with other alcoholics. It works when other activities fail. This is our 12th suggestion. Carry the message to other alcoholics. You can help when no one else can. You can secure their confidence when others fail. Remember that they are very ill. You guys secure my confidence when nobody else can. Other alcoholics, other addicts that tell me when we talk, life will take on new meaning. To watch people recover. That's what we do here. We talk to each other because nothing will ensure immunity from alcohol as work with other alcoholics. And that's what we do, and I'll see you tomorrow on the same place. Same sober channel, same sober time. Although I haven't decided on a time yet. I will. You know. So I hope you guys are realizing that you are not the be all end all. You are not the solution to your dad, your mom's, your girlfriend's, your boyfriend's problems. You are not in charge of the world. Although for some reason we do insist that we are. I am not in charge. There is a power greater than I. And I will let go. It's all on Daniel Kopic. Kopic's running this show, everybody. Thank God it's not me. You know, I was under all that pressure. Kopic's got it. Hey, everybody, your problems, give them to Daniel Kopic. He's the one in charge. We can all relax. We can all go to sleep tonight and relax. We can relax because Kopic's in charge. Thank you, Kopic. Come to believe in Daniel Kopic that he can restore you to sanity. Thank you. I can relax now. Oh, my goodness. You know what? I'm going to get some chocolate and I'm going to watch Riff Tracks or Mystery Science Theater 3000. I'm going to text my friend Holly. And I'm just going to relax because Kopic has got it, bro. You know what I mean? All my problems, Kopic's got it. Thank you, Daniel. You know what I mean? And that goes for everybody, too. All of our problems, we're going to send them to Daniel. He's got us. The almighty Daniel Kopic. That's a perfect example, too, by the way. If you choose Daniel as your higher power, you can relax. You can fucking go to sleep and shit. You know what I mean? You can just put your feet up. That's the example. That's a perfect example. You know what I mean? So let's join me in the Our Daniel Kopic prayer. Our heavenly Daniel Kopic, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in England. Give us this day, Daniel Kopic, our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses. Forgive those, Daniel, that trespass against us, and deliver us from evil. Oh, shit. But you get my drift. Bus driver's prayer. What's working, Daniel? Let me look up this bus driver's prayer real quick. Bus driver's prayer. Oh, it's Our Father, who art in heaven. Harrow Road be thy name. These are lyrics. Deliver us from ego. You know what I mean, peoples? I love you guys too. And somebody's hitting a bunch of these buttons. The 100s, the flowers. Well, I hope you got something from this live stream. If you did, like it, share it. And rest easy tonight. You know what I mean? Daniel's got all of our solutions. Thank you, Daniel. Thanks be to Daniel Kopic. Praise be to Kopic. A power greater than ourselves. He will absolve us. You know, and if I believe that, if I come to believe that that Daniel is a power greater than I, if I come to believe that and that he restores me to sanity, I don't have to drink over it. You know what I mean? I don't have to drink. Daniel's got it, bro. All right. Well, thank God. Thank Copic. Copic's will be done. For now, that just makes me really comfy. I feel safe. Well, now that we can rest, let's all get some sleep. Insanity. Look up the definition of insanity. I didn't say I'm insane. You know what I mean? I did insane things. I did the same things and insane things and expected different results. But let's wrap it up. Good night, Bonnie. Good night, Copic. Good night, Ryan. Good night, Paulie. Daithai Goyelin, welcome and good night. Ratunya, Holly, Miss Hashtag Holly Ford, and all of y'all, Mind's Eye. You know what I mean? Have a good night. Rest easy. Copic's got this. He's in charge. He's going to watch over things while we all get some sleep. Daddy Copic. Thank God. Praise be to Copic, for we are powerless. And he has the almighty power, everlasting life, and infinite power. All right. Well, I hope to see you tomorrow. And Copic is watching. You're right. He sees all. Copic sees all. Y'all remember that. All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, keep it clean, keep it real, keep doing a damn thing. Peace.